Oh, just shoot it. Ah, Vorsicht, Vorsicht. Like he was like, attention, attention to us, guys. No. He was like pointing at us.
Doesn't make a difference.
Not even the president. Yeah. He's like, do we have a law for that?
Okay, let's prefix this video with the statement that guns in public shouldn't be visible. You shouldn't carry guns in public. That's how you get into trouble.
Depends on the country. Man, you should go to Texas. It's insane there.
Okay, but in general, it's a stupid idea. Even if you are allowed to carry a gun in the open, it's still a stupid idea. Let's make this clear. Nobody should do that. But we were all young and we did that at some point.
Some are still young.
Yeah.
I think we should also narrow it down to more like, you're not a policeman, you're not. It's really like it's absolutely unnecessary and you do it anyways.
Yeah, we are talking about airsoft, regular airsoft.
Not that somebody goes, no, I have to, because...
No, it's airsoft. Of course it's airsoft.
Guns in public. At game areas, they always tell this story of people driving to the field. They wear the entire gear. Like I've seen people sitting with a plate carrier in the car and like a pistol holstered on the plate, like as visible as possible, like right here. There's no way that you can't see it when you're talking to him. If it's at least, I don't know, like in his pants or something. No, it's like, it's almost in his face. And then they go to the gasoline station and buy, I don't know, like a drink or something.
Chewing gum. Beer.
Chewing gum.
Or beer.
Chewing gum.
And it's like, oh, you want to pay for this?
Yeah. It's not that bad, but...
You pull out your card and the guy opens the cash register and just, here, take whatever you want.
That's what they always tell in the safety briefings. They always tell about this one story that happened in Austria where they apparently like called the police and I don't know what not and what happened. So it's happening. It just looks so funny when a guy with a plate carrier sits in the car because it doesn't. It's like if you sit like this in a car, it's like you can't even.
Especially with the belt and everything, you don't even fit into the seat.
Yes, exactly.
Guess how I know?
Yes. You're one of them.
No, it's mostly at the game field. When you need to park your car somewhere else mid-game because somebody needs to leave, so you just sit in the car. Anyways, but I think very interesting would be to talk about differences between countries, because you are from Austria, you are from Portugal, and I'm from Czech Republic, and there is huge differences.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you about one huge difference. So you cross the border to Slovakia, which is 50 kilometers or something.
Yes.
And people just like a 14-year-old guy with an M4A1 or like an M16 with a carry handle, and he uses it the way it's supposed to be used. Like he carries it on the carry handle and just like walks to the game out of the bus. And I've seen that, but I've seen people just carrying their gun like this in public.
I've seen it before in Czech Republic, which is pretty much the same as Slovakia. We used to be one country. It's not Czechoslovakia anymore. Please stop that. And yet this is happening. But the thing is, nobody cares. Never ever something happened. Like nobody called the police when people saw us. Nobody was ever freaking out, oh, you have guns, I yield or something. No, people just are cool with that.
Or they just don't give a fuck.
It is not okay because you are not allowed to do that by law. Like that's like spreading alarming message, or I don't know how it's classified. It's forbidden by law. But nothing ever happened from my experience from Czech Republic or Slovakia.
Because it doesn't alarm people anymore.
It doesn't.
I think in Austria you don't get away with it. If you carry like an assault rifle sized rifle and just walk into a supermarket, maybe they don't call the police if you're kids because they go like, no, but they will talk to you. They're gonna be like, why? What's that?
One story from Czech Republic. I was in a supermarket with Jordi and we were leaving. I was sitting in the car and I saw a guy and he was just normal clothes and he had a handgun in his hand and just like walking next to my car when we were like leaving. And he was walking into the supermarket.
With a handgun?
With a handgun in his hand. And I'm like, my first reaction was, hey, you already see that? That's exactly what I was talking about. Because we were discussing this topic before. And then I realized how retarded I am. Because this is weird. Like it's a handgun. He's in civil clothes. He doesn't have camo or anything. Because if he would have camo, you could have assumed like, okay, it's an airsoft guy going to an airsoft field.
Without a holster.
I don't know, but this guy, he was really shady. But the first thing I noticed is, hey, that's what I was talking about. Nobody cares. And then I realized, okay, that's weird. It was really shady. I was laughing at it because I'm an airsoft player used to this. But another person.
So in the moment it was funny, and then we were like, "Wow, this is actually super fucked up."
It is serious. Yeah. It is serious. Because
was it like all gangs and like walking like this, with his pants down at the
I have a picture.
Yeah,
I have a picture of that guy.
Was he like aiming sideways too?
Was he like singing a song with like a couple of chicks in the background?
No. Wait a second. I'm gonna grab my phone. I'm gonna show you. I even put it up on Instagram or something, I think.
Sounds like Czech Republic is like Europe's Texas or Europe's
A lot
Mexico.
of gun factories are in Czech Republic. Okay, which other incidents? Yeah, and what about you? Are people running around with yellow guns in Portugal?
No. Actually, every game they advertise you dress as civilian as possible, even when you're in the car, because if the police saw it, they will stop you. And if they feel like it, they can always name some problem with your gun, with your gear, whatever, that you have to pay a huge fine for. So,
And it is the smart thing to do to dress in a civil clothes, because usually you get really dirty after the game, so you need to switch anyways.
In Portugal, it's more like the law is so complex, nobody knows. I mean, I have met police that doesn't know the law themselves, but if you want to point fingers, some of the laws are just impossible to comply. It's like if you forgot to unplug your battery from your gun.
Really?
Yeah, your gun has to be concealed in your car, battery is unplugged, painted.
Sounds like
all
Germany.
that stuff. Go to a game. During the game, you can cover up the paint part, but if you forgot to remove them, they could like point finger about
So
that.
it has to be painted as well.
Yeah, it has to be painted front and back. You can cover up during the game, but that's about it. That's why people use a lot of the camel, which looks even uglier sometimes. It's
a lot of people
black
are being
guy.
mad.
It's like a black guy in the middle, and camel tape has back and camel tape in the front.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if you want to cover the paint,
Camel tape always makes your gun look like a fish.
Fish?
Yeah, because you have all those nice corners and all those angles with like a rail, and then you just wrap it, and it looks like a fish. There's like no corners, it's just this organic shape.
For me,
Fish.
Yeah.
Seriously, fish.
There's no corners and no holes, no screws, no nothing. It's just like a fish. It's like this.
Do you... Okay, back.
Man, I've seen some weird fish.
Okay, yeah, anyway. Yeah, okay.
You
A
remember-
red gun.
Remember
is a
when
fish.
we were in Taiwan in the restaurant? Man, I saw some weird animals. Anyways.
Do you have like a personal experience when a police came or something with police? Like, what did they tell you or
I
something?
got it once, but that wasn't my fault. Like, we were in the entrance of the game. We were kind of geared up, but not much. I had some guns that were not painted because I had to lend it to some of my friends that were there, that were new. And normally I only have enough painted parts. That's a stupid part. You can actually, like, if you have a painted suppressor, you can torque it on, and that count as a painted section. You can just switch it off and put on a normal one. So I always have like a couple painted stocks and flash hider. Some of them even 3D printed. As long as you have the set screw on the sides that you can tighten it so it doesn't switch off, it's legal. So I ended up 3D printing some of them, and it's just exactly 10 centimeters long. If which is a law requirement, just torque it on, put it there. But I didn't have enough of them. And one of my friends were like checking them off, and the police car drove by, and the down by is like very unsubtly to close the trunk, like then pretending like he just like and they just saw the
There is nothing.
Yeah,
nothing in the trunk.
yeah, then the police car just take a U-turn, come back, open it up, like, wow, I'm fucked. And only one police guy realized what's wrong. He had to, hey, can you tell my colleague what's wrong with some of these guns? I'm like, yeah, they're not painted. Even themselves, they're not informed. So it's really, really stupid.
What happened? What did they tell
Well,
you?
they actually ended up letting me go.
That's
It is next to a airsoft field, so
It was
got
kind of
really lucky. Otherwise, it would be like a couple $1,000 and probably a night in the squad and losing the guns.
We also had a few instances in which we were playing on a field and somebody called police. They usually just come. They are like, guys, you should stop this. Somebody was complaining. Just go home. Years ago. And also, next time when this happened, the policeman came and I'm like, hey man, how are you doing? How's your wife? All good? And they were just chatting and then they left. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I never heard that something would happen, somebody would get a fine. Never heard about that. in Czech Republic.
Yeah, well.
Do you have something from Austria?
Pretty much every single time that there's a game at the urban area, there's the police just stopping by. And I don't know why, maybe it's the neighbor complaining, or I don't even know if it's still happening, but I know in the beginning it was like this. And it was more like they go there, it was like, we don't want to go there, the police. And then they there, and I was like, oh, there's so many cool guns. Like, can I try this?
Yes.
Oh, just shoot it. And, the next weekend they're there.
Exactly.
Dropped like $2,000 on, I don't know, whatever. So it's happening a lot in Austria. Like, the police is coming to games all the time, but it's never an issue.
Did they ever came to you, police guys, because of Airsoft? Like talking to you, you were somewhere where you were not supposed to be?
I was actually used to organize games myself, and yes, there was a policeman once coming. And we did have to stop the game.
But nothing really happened, right? It was fine.
We actually had to... We were not allowed to play at this field anymore because the owner of the land was like, hey, I don't want to get in trouble. I was like, yeah, fair enough.
So nothing really happened?
Nothing happened, but we couldn't play anymore, which was a pity. Yeah.
Compare this to America. You carry a gun somewhere, like a shady guy, you get shot immediately, I think.
Really?
Well, there is
Depends on
video.
the states. So many states already forbidden concealed carry already. I don't know. I mean, even some Airsoft are getting banned at some states.
Really?
Yeah.
Airsoft is getting banned.
They want to ban it in Pennsylvania, I think even. It's banned in New York. In California, I think they tried to ban it, and man, they just tried everything they could to not ban it, and now they ended up with that funny orange tape which is wrapped around the gun.
So don't carry guns in the public because this is how we get the sport banned.
Exactly. That's
don't
what I say.
do it. Like we are talking what happened 10 years ago. We've been playing for 12 years each, right? I think at least 12 years. So that's like outdated information. Like it's not okay to carry guns in the public. So don't do it. So everybody's trying to ban them now.
It's always going more into the banning it direction than let's have more guns. That's where's this happening?
Any other story that we could share with the guys there?
I even had a guy once, he was not a policeman, but we were just playing around my parents' house, and the guy actually thought we are, I don't know, like trying to break into the house. That's because, you always bring like 5 assault rifles if you break into the house. But that's what he saw, and man, that guy just ran around the corner and he just yelled like, Vorsicht! Like he was like, attention to us guys! No! He was like pointing at us. I'm not sure if it's highly stupid or if it's very brave. I guess it's both.
Yeah, I mean, if you see guns and you go there and start yelling, hey, there is guys with guns! Like, guess what? If it's a real robbery.
So it can only turn out bad, because if it's not real guns, the guy shouted for nothing. But if it's actually real guns, he probably gets shot or something. So it's like, what was the idea behind it?
I still have one little story. We were going to a game and we had to walk like 3 kilometers to the actual game field in a forest. And there was a police car coming. There was like a huge line of airsofters, long line, just groups of guys going there. And they stopped next to me and my team. And they were like, hey guys, finally somebody with gun cases. Good job. And they just drove. So yeah.
It's also interesting how different countries enforce it, because I know in Germany the laws are strict, more strict than in Czech, but they actually enforce them like with an iron fist. It's details like you need, if you have a gun case, the gun needs to be in there in a way that you can't access it fast. So the gun case needs to be cable tied, or the gun needs to be, have the battery taken out and stored somewhere else. So there needs to be barriers for you to access the gun fast. And they actually do check that. And they also check if you have an F license on it, like a little F mark. They're super strict about it. And even if you're driving from Austria to Austria and you have to go through Germany, because there's like this corner, man, people don't go there with Austrian airsoft guns because they don't have those licensings on there. And people tried it, and they sometimes check cars, and if they find the gun, they immediately know what's up. Like they don't look at it and say, is this legal? I don't know. They'll go like, okay, is it full auto? Yes, it's an illegal gun. You actually get a lawsuit. It's not funny. Wow. They're super serious. I think it's on par with just bringing like an assault rifle, full automatic assault rifle into the country. Like it's in the same weapon class. If it's not, it doesn't have that little marker on there. So it's super serious.
Don't be stupid.
They don't fuck with you.
Just
That's
don't-
Well,
Stupid.
the funny thing about Portugal is I'm from the north.
Man, are you like from a gang or something?
No, I mean, it's just the at north, like there isn't police at the game entrance every game. Actually, I hate these people that they buy a new gun. I saw these people so many times. It's just like I just got this scope and they just hang the gun right there and right in the entrance where everybody's on the waiting line. Cars still driving by and they just there. And sometimes they get yelled at like, at least cover it up. From what I heard, there's police car every game checking everybody. For me, that's not even fun. I mean, I hate that painted law. Like, what do they do? What if I just smuggle a real gun and they paint it up? So what? I'm not good. Like if I want to rob a place, I just buy $5 of a black spray and now I have a.
That's also what I always felt about when it comes to the orange Diplo in America. It's like great. I just like spray paint my real gun and now like
Their argument was so regular people see you shooting each other, they don't get alarmed.
I think it's good that if you see a kid running around with something and it's red, it's like, oh, it's probably an airsoft gun.
Yeah, we had this discussion about removing because right now airsoft gun is classified as real firearm.
Where?
In Portugal, yeah. They're all the same weapon control over them, and there was discussion like, can we remove it out of it? And there indeed came with argument, okay, we don't have any law over it, because right now it's properly controlled, really tightly controlled, not very convenient, but it's controlled. And if we take it out of it, gonna be for a moment like a toy, you know? People can buy it with whatever, no regulation, and suddenly a kid run around with a, let's say, authentic looking Glock. From my look, I can distinguish, but guarantee my parents can't.
Yeah.
So it's the same effect.
What's the right decision in this case?
I know a lot of people will disagree, but I think there's a lot of smart people trying to solve everyone's problems, and then people like us with very specific problems always question the law. They go like, this is fucking bullshit, the people who did it are so stupid.
I'm
but they
pretty
think
certain
about
that
such a huge group of people, and they need to make everyone happy to a degree, so they find compromises. But I do think that the people who make these decisions, and I know a lot of people disagree, but I think they also thought about airsoft, they thought about this and this and that. But it's just very hard to make one law that covers everything.
I think in case of Portugal, they just didn't think at all.
I also think that these people have no idea what airsoft
I
is.
think
most
they
of the
have
time.
no idea.
It's probably not an airsoft player, but it's a guy who I think knows a little bit about guns. He educates himself a little bit for a couple hours, I guess, and then he makes a call, and maybe that.
Energy limit for your soft guns, doesn't know anything about it. We have 1.3 joules across the entire planet.
We have 16 joules in Czech
The
Republic.
question is also, is it worth for such a niche thing to make its own? Like if you make a law for this, you need to start making a law for like a million, trillion other
The
things. as
funny
well.
thing is, I don't need a license to buy AR-looking air gun that shoots semi and full. If I'm above 18, I can just go to any website, buy a Umarex MP5, whatever that uses CO2 and shoots semi-full auto steel BBs. Doesn't have to be painted even.
Really?
Yeah.
So airsoft has to be painted. but
Airsoft
air
has to be
guns-
painted.
So
but
it
air
is
gun,
actually classified. Like it's defined what airsoft is, and then
yeah,
just
well,
put it
it's
into the
like
gun.
what's not airsoft, then air gun is air gun. Air gun is just weapon, no painting, but don't walk around with it. Same as a real firearm.
So it's like because it is actually dangerous.
You don't have to paint it.
Yeah, you know. Well, it makes sense. I mean, no,
Yeah.
it does make sense because it's like you're not supposed to say, "Hey, this is a toy." Actually, it's not. You know.
Yeah.
So it should.
But you
show
can
that
paint it.
I
You
can paint it.
Is
You
it
can paint
illegal?
it.
Imagine it's illegal to paint it.
Yeah. Like you have a paint job, you go to jail now.
Exactly.
I'm not aware of any law that says real firearm can't be painted, whatever color.
I actually wonder if you're allowed to put an orange, like a blaze orange tip onto a real gun onto the US.
I think there's no law stopping.
I also think that's not law.
Yeah. So kind of
The new
my
trend in
point.
IPC:
Yeah.
a blaze orange tip on your yard.
Anything else we could add to this?
Let me think. The most ridiculous way of covering guns. What have you seen so far? I've seen, or I personally used the pink guitar bag of my sister for like 2 years.
Wow.
And it looked ridiculous on me. I looked like a little girl going to the guitar class. Man, I'll probably have a picture somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna try to find
Well,
it.
it probably works better than a gun case.
In my case, what was the worst way to cover a gun is actually when I tried to make a camo sock for it. I just tore up a t-shirt, like a military collar t-shirt, and I just threw like strings on it, and it looked really ridiculous. I still have a picture. It was really
like
retarded.
a camo sock, or
Yeah, like a camo, like a wrap or something. But I was never carrying a gun in a ridiculous pink guitar bag, I guess.
Well, I do have a friend that made a gun bag from jeans.
Pair of jeans.
Yeah.
actually feel like
That works.
I don't know how it works, but how he did it, but it worked. It just looks like one leg jeans.
I mean, if I need to, like exit the building and go like 10 meters and enter the next building, like the previous offices we had, I did use jackets. Like I put it into the sleeve one side and the other side into the sleeve of the other side. I just closed the jacket and I carried it like this. I mean, it could be anything. It could be a clothes hanger inside the jacket, for example.
Or it's whatever that is not supposed to be seen.
Yeah. So everybody in the area knows that Novrich is making guns.
No, they
you
don't.
see a guy with a Novrich t-shirt carrying a clothes hanger
That's like
in a
this.
jacket, which is this
The
long.
jacket is like this.
And there is just a tiny little bit of scope peeking out. What could it be?
Yeah,
A clothes hanger.
A really big clothes hanger.
Okay, let's proper ending.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to our opinions. And we need more topics. So if you have ideas, things that we can talk about, things that we know about, and maybe stuff that we experienced, just put it down below and we're gonna talk about it. And we have a podcast, right?
Yeah, we have a podcast now. It's already online, at least on Spotify. It's gonna be everywhere sometime. We are working on it, but on Spotify we have a podcast, so you can listen to this bullshit also in the car and anywhere else. So feel free to check it out. Join us. That's it.
Good.
See you in the next
Yeah.
one.